NA player. You remember Team Freedom when they were really sick. He was playing 5-role Leshrac basically every game. Swindle Melons, aka Kyle now, was also doing that in kind of a different time period, but very, very good hero. Played as a 5 because that stun is so efficient. And then Sand King as well. A little bit of a nerf to the Burrow Strike, but it's still a really efficient stun. So both of these heroes can function as supports, and they can kind of flex the lanes depending on the enemy draft. Although Wind Ranger and Tusk, these are two heroes who are pretty versatile as well. Maybe Tusk a little bit less so because he can really only be played as a 4 and a 5. You don't see offlane Tusk that much anymore these days, just because he can do the same amount of stuff as a support usually.
Yeah.
Wind Ranger though is played as a 5, played as a 4 sometimes, maybe kind of poorly. I'm not a huge fan of the Wind Ranger 4, but in any case, played as a 5, played as a 4, offlaner, mid, hell, even a carry. I've seen people in NA, they'll go carry Wind Ranger, build an early Maelstrom into Ags, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, she actually can right click. So two really versatile drafts so far, and doesn't reveal much. It doesn't reveal too much.
Yeah, it's a versatile draft for sure. Wind Ranger has that capability to be in all of those lanes. I've seen her mostly in this tournament as a support, which I have had my doubts about, just because if you don't get your levels up, if you don't get a good shackle shot, you also need somebody to lead with a decent stun like Tusk Snowball or something like that, because you can't really start off with a Wind Ranger stun. Like Wind Ranger starting with a shackle shot doesn't work out a lot of the time. It's a little tricky to hit, and
with items you can definitely do it, but as a support, like you said, as a support, that's not really going to be the easiest thing to do, especially if you have low levels in the wind run. Sometimes people use that to set up, but that's support's not going to have high levels in that necessarily.
I do like when you have like a Beastmaster paired with a Wind Ranger, just because you have the Roar to start things off, and you shackle shot and power shot. It's a lot of damage just through that alone. Not to mention you can build Solar Crest on that hero on Beastmaster, so you can get the minus armor for the Wind Ranger if you want to actually have effective right clicks, which may or may not happen. And also another thing is Beastmaster is like one of the top 6 heroes that's been contested at the Super Major. He has a 53% win rate, which is pretty good.
Considering how early he's picked, that's a really, really significant win rate.
Yeah, it's not banned either, which is surprising to me. And both teams need their offlaner unless they play Sand King offlane or Wind Ranger offlane, which I would be surprised if they do either of those things. So
I do think there's a lot of targeted bans here. Looking at the Dota buffs, Clutch Gamers, it's something like 5 out of 6 of their last games they've had a Dark Seer on their side. So Yoshimoto not letting them have another Dark Seer. So Wind Ranger is now solidified as a core.
Yes.
We have Warlock. That's unless they're doing some crazy shenanigans. Remember, Admiral Bulldog was playing Warlock as an offlaner for a while. Back when offlane was really, really easy to play. You could basically play anything in offlane with, the shrines and stuff like that.
Yep.
We're not going to see that. That'd be funny.
He used to be played mid as well, but that's not going to happen either. Warlock is too strong in a support role currently, and especially in dual lanes with Shadow Word being as strong as it is. It's pretty strong. The one downside, of course, Warlock doesn't have the best disables, or any disable for that matter. He is Golem and then Upheaval. But you're not going to get that in lane. Usually you max out your Fatal Bonds and your Shadow Word first. So, but Warlock, in terms of the dual lane action that happens and how much battling there actually is, very strong. And Undying is another one of those types of heroes.
Speaking of dual laning.
Yeah, like
speaking of dual laning.
He's in a pretty good place right now. Decay, very strong. As we mentioned the other day, it's not just about Tombstone anymore. It's all about Decay and Soul Rip being pretty good abilities. So it's not surprising they picked this hero.
I think I say this a lot. I probably sound like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I'm 100% sure that Undying is pretty well rated by the Dota community. People, you see an Undying, you're not like, oh god, that hero's trash. I have an Undying on my team. It's not like that. You're pretty happy with an Undying on your team, but I think it's even better than that. I think that the hero is better than just being rated really well. I think the hero's a little underrated, especially considering how strong dual lanes are and how amazing Undying is in and against these kind of aggressive lanes. Like he can, what is like an Axe Skywrath going to do to an Undying? Well, probably a decent amount, but it's still a hero that can contest that sort of ridiculous lane.
Yeah.
And now we have a troll. So that is the enemy tri lane right there. And by enemy, I mean Yoshimoto. I don't know why I think that they're the enemy, but they're going to tri lane with the Tusk, Warlock, and Troll.
Because they're on the top side of the screen. I don't know. Maybe you just hate Radiant.
I always pick a team. I'm like, they're the enemy. I'm this team. Whether it's like, I think it's the Undying pick. I really like that hero. So
it's just because you have you like one team's draft more. That's pretty much it. When you think the team that has a good draft is going to do well, and that's kind of how I think too. Where I'm just like,
True that.
I
It's
don't
also
like this
kind of
team's
just for
drafted and it's bad. Therefore, the team is
it's for biased reasons too. Like I don't play Troll, Windranger, Warlock, Tusk, but I play Undying and Leshrac and Sand King. So it's kind of like these are my this is my team. Phantom Launcher. I do not play that hero. That is a great hero though,
that's a very
especially against
strong
the
hero
PL or
currently.
the Troll.
I think PL is in a pretty good spot. Although at the Super Major he only has a 40% win rate, so maybe not. Jesus Christ. He's been picked 7 times too. That is unbelievably low. That's one of the lowest win rates that
Pretty
is
low.
more than 5 games.
The most recent change to him was really just the fact that now that when he's rooted, he can't doppelganger, but there's no roots in this game right now on the side of Yoshimoto. So I suppose it's just as good as it was in previous patches, and it was very, very strong. Although the meta has shifted from kind of tri-lane centric to be dual lane centric, so perhaps it's fallen off because people don't think that he's great in or against dual lanes. Although I think he's actually pretty good in those dual lanes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I say that, I think that he's pretty good in those dual lanes because of the Lance spam, but people weren't really playing this hero as that Lance spamming hero in the previous patches when he was broken. They were playing him as a run you down, max out the Phantom Rush hero. And that was really, really strong against solo offlaners. You would just die to that. It's like, what the hell? This guy's hitting me for 150? It's 5 minutes. What is this?
Yeah.
But, you can't just run a lane down like that if it's a dual lane that just keeps poking you. So maybe that's why it's fallen off.
From what I've seen in the games that he has been picked and lost in, there's either a lot of lockdown or there's something like an Ember Spirit who, like you mentioned, because of the root now, the root changes to PL, it's a lot better to actually pick that hero, and you can kill him as just the Ember Spirit +1 instead of needing a lot of help. So it's like either they have Beastmaster against the PL where they roar him, and they just kill him in that way, or super fast push where there was a Drow strat for LGD against Optic. Yesterday, there's some reasoning for PL to have that bad win rate at the Super Major, but they will have the Razor, which means that this is going to be a mid Razor more than likely, and then the PL in the safe lane, or vice versa, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess having two heroes that can be kind of non-traditional mids means that this pick that might be a mid could potentially, they could throw either of those heroes into the mid lane. So maybe they're not even locking in this is going to be the mid hero. They're just like, both of these heroes can do kind of fine mid. Let's just see what they pick first, because we don't know. Windranger Tusk is a pretty that's a pretty good lane. That I know a lot of people do that in NA. I don't know about SEA, but Windranger Tusk, you just sit there and you poke and you poke and you poke, and then eventually you do the ice shards. You keep poking. You shackle as they're running away on the creep wave, and there's just a lot. And then obviously the shards sets up for the power shot really nicely because they're stuck in that little crevasse, and God knows power shot's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
it's a really, really great poke lane. So
power shot is one of the most annoying abilities to deal with. Just Wind Ranger in general, especially as a melee hero. PMS, poor man, whatever it's called, whatever it used to be, doesn't exist anymore.
Shield, yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore. So Wind Ranger does a lot of damage, especially against these melee heroes that have a tough time against it. So
that's a really good point. She was pretty awful for a while, even after the poor man shield was removed, and possibly just as a result of like residual people didn't like the hero. But that you're right, that's definitely a huge buff to her actually, because that was a that's how she harasses. It's not like a Skywrath mage who just chunks out those Qs at you and it's magic damage. Like if your shield keeps proccing against Windranger, you will take no damage. And Brewmaster, that's interesting against the Razor. I think that's pretty ballsy because I think Razor's traditionally considered to be a lane counter to Brewmaster. So they really, really must want this in their draft, or they're going to run Brewmaster mid or something like that.
I hope that's not the case. But
you never know.
I guess we'll wait and
maybe?
see. For Detonator, usually Obbing is the all-flame player, but he's playing the Troll Warlord. Yaj playing the Tusk, but he's usually the 2-player. I think they're probably going to swap just because of cosmetics.
Interesting.
Nazjo, I don't know if JS is Nazjo. He was tagged as Nazjo last time he played, and he's the 1-player usually. The way that it looks to me is that they're going to do off-lane Brew, mid-lane Wind Ranger, safe lane Troll Warlord, I think. Whether or not that actually happens, we'll wait and see. But
and then tri-lane safe lane. I'm not a huge fan.
I have no idea. I guess we're going to find out.
Let's
I don't know. Tri-lanes in general to me are just, I'm over them. Oh, I click on anything.
I'm pretty over them too, unless you're running some sort of super ultra late game hard carry mid. A lot of people in the super major have been doing that, kind of putting like an SF mid, just like a hyper carry, and then you just both the side lanes you throw an off laner and just say screw the side lanes. You want to dual lane, go for it. We'll have good laning heroes, and we'll have our carry go mid. So let's see, PL going bottom.
Am I gonna have to restart Dota?
Brew's going to offlane. What's going on with your Dota?
I can't actually move my camera, so I am gonna have to restart my Dota. Give me a second.
Oh,
I think it's because I was watching the game on like Whitboss's
player perspective.
And I was watching on his camera, and then I joined this game, which means that I probably have a bug that I just need to be fixed by restarting Dota.
Oh, I know the one. I've had that.
So I will.
That one's a rip in pepperonis.
Very annoying.
So it is a brew off lane and a Windranger mid. By the way, you're right about that.
So that makes sense.
It's a troll safe lane. It's actually the Tusk going top with the Brewmaster, which is interesting. I have seen. I know Brax likes to run his. He'll run like a Brewer +1. Brew's actually a really great dual laner, but they're dual laning into a Leshrac Sand King. That's a pretty ridiculously good combo.
Yeah.
If they're not careful, they could kill. But it's not.
And that's,
it's a good harassing combo.
I like Clutch Gamer setting the lane up in this way. They're going to have a split earth. They're going to get the rune top. They're going to get 2 for now. And looks like it's going to be 2 for 2. Yaj gets off a nice ice shards, but they have another split earth in 2. Owa's going to come in with a clap and try to slow them down, but they still get the split earth. They need a burrow strike. They do have it. That's first blood. And there is an issue already. Clearly, this is a very strong lane for Clutch Gamers, and it's a great job that they rotated Yol and Gabby bottom and not top instead. So really good movement for Clutch Gamers.
That's about 4 seconds of chain disable and 200 magic damage out of these heroes. It's quite a lot with the right clicks.
You know, and they don't even use that much regen. The split earth doesn't require that much mana for Leshrac, and he's going to regen it up slowly. Skylark does have to use a Mango, which is a little unfortunate because he didn't have the highest mana pool, plus the Burrow Strike does take a lot of mana.
Yeah.
But I just really like the way they set up these lanes. Like, Abing can't walk up. If he does in the bottom lane, he's going to get decayed. You know, they can get some double decays for Yol, and then they can get Gabby to either spam Spirit Lance or just run at him with Phantom Rush at some point in the lane. So I think this is a really good laning setup. Although Boombox is getting chased down by Owa, he's already used his clap. He's going to try to auto attack. Boombox, he's going to get saved by Skylark plus the Split Earth. It is a lot of damage, and they just need a couple of auto attacks. He has no Drunken Brawler, but they cannot find the kill regardless. He's going to have to back up and salve. Battling top lane is what this is going to turn into in both of these lanes.
This one for sure is going to favor the Sand King lane going forward. You have a Sand King with the Caustic Finale against 2 melee heroes. There's absolutely no way that when he gets level 3 they win this lane. Like, the Tusk has got to be really careful. I feel like he can secure the lane a little bit up here, but he's got to rotate. He's got to rotate out at some point. And then you have a Razor mid too. Razor's going to beat a Windranger. That's a purely physical damage hero for the first few levels. And he's just static linking her.
Yeah, until she gets more levels than Windrun and boots, it's going to be tricky. Wait, can you purge off the Windrun?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay, well, if that's good if you can get close with the Razor, like, but he doesn't have boots yet. She just Windruns away, tries getting some auto attacks. The purge hits on a
I guess that's actually a pretty good kind of early counter is the Windrun versus the static link. I didn't really consider that too much.
Yeah.
Sure, you take her damage, but she'll get away from it faster than other heroes might. Although she did eat 50
damage, yeah. And when he gets boots, it's going to get even better. Although, I don't know. Yeah, this lane might actually be harder for the Wind Ranger than I thought it was going to be. Meanwhile, Oa top lane, they've already used Burrow Strike. They've already used Lightning Storm and Split Earth. Still, he's got to stick up, and they've got the Snowball, which might save his life. They need 2 more auto attacks. It looks like, nope, just the Lightning Storm. It's really good, so that secures that kill. And I think they're winning almost every lane. Wind Ranger's actually even with the Razor currently, but they're doing really well in all the lanes currently for
he's doing a good job keeping up with the power shots. Even though he completely lacks damage, he's getting some last hits.
Maybe this lane is better for JS than I thought, even with static link.
I don't think so. I think what we're seeing is we're just seeing the last hits go up when he's not static linked, and then
that's fair.
They'll go down again.
Another Burrow Strike. Snowball save comes out. It's, Brewmaster just TP'd in. He doesn't want to die. Luckily, Skylark's out of mana, so finding that kill, he has to mango up if he wants to. He does, but they're not going to die for it. And
Brew's got to be so careful here.
Yeah, if he dies, then yeah, he actually even has a salve. He has to use his salve. Like, he cannot do anything in this lane Meanwhile, Troll is actually doing really well bottom. I thought he was going to get harassed down by Yol, but he's still keeping up. He's able to just range Gabby with the ranged Berserker's Rage and still get CS, so I'm surprised that they're not winning this lane harder, but this lane will get easier once Undying gets a bit more levels, especially if he gets Tombstone at some point, although now Yol going to get bashed up. The Fatal Bonds comes out, and the Shadow Word, and that's the thing also, is the Shadow Word. I keep forgetting about it, but the sustain is there, so all that damage not really doing anything, and Yol now has no way of regenerating other than Soul Rip, so...
Yeah, and one of the interesting things about Shadow Word versus an Undying lane is that, actually, speaking, they're very aggressive down here.
Yeah,
the Troll Warlock, but this Shadow Word, it doesn't give you health regen. It's literally like an applied heal. So when you have a lot lower HP because of strength loss, I think Undying is just...
He's mega dead. Yeah. That was a dank stick charge. And now Gabby might be dead too. He's already used his... Yep. No doppelganger.
Stick charges as well, actually. Stick charges as well. Like, you'd think an Undying lane would do really well here, but now that I'm thinking about it, when you have a stick and when you have the Warlock healing, these are static numbers, but being applied to a lower HP pool. So when the decay wears off, you're basically gaining way more value out of the stick and out of the Shadow Word.
I think they just needed to not, like, Viola and the PL were just sitting at a super low amount of HP when they took that fight. Now they're going to find Owa again. Lightning Storm, the body blocks are coming out. There's going to be the Spirit Lance along with the last auto attack from Boombox, secures the kill. They'll back up into the wave, and they're going to, I think, switch lanes now because, of course, the PL did come top. The Sand King
really like that.
Got off to a good start, though, so it's fine.
I really, really like that sort of play when you're rotating lanes and you don't just...
Anji. Oh, Solar comes out. Illusions are going to chase him down. This would be a big kill. He's the highest CSer in the game. Uh-oh. Run Yaj. They have Static Link. They don't even need it. Yaj is dead, and Ajit stays alive.
I was going to say, I really like when people are rotating lanes and they go for a gank into the rotation, and that literally just happened again as we were talking about that. Sand King goes to the middle lane, gets a kill. PL, before that, goes to the top lane, gets a kill. So it's not just lane rotations where it's like, okay, we're going to rotate these lanes. It's also, okay, let's rotate, get a gank, and then we'll rotate the lanes. So it's kind of like two birds, one stone sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just a very efficient thing that good teams tend to do. You won't see that very often in your pubs. It'll just be like, I need this lane. You know, your carry will just steal your lane from you. It's like, well, okay, I guess I can't. You're my carry, so I gotta let you have my lane.
Yeah, that's frustrating sometimes. As a carry, though, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That makes sense. That's good logic.
Skylark down bottom. He has a DD bottled, which not the best DD hero, but still is effective with Caustic Finale. Boombox in them rotated bottom, so maybe they could stop the Troll from farming. He's top of the net worth currently, even higher than Ajit, which is surprising considering Ajit's been doing really well mid. But this Troll might actually be able to carry this game. I'm curious if he goes Battle Fury. I don't know if he will, considering that item just doesn't seem that good anymore.
People are kind of straying away from it seems. I do think the Sange and Yasha build is still pretty damn effective for farming as well on Troll, just because he could see attack speed. And yeah, I don't know. I think Sange and Yasha is probably the way to go. I see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
God, this Brew's really not having a good time up here. Look at the difference between Brew and SK.
Okay, here we go. Snowball in. Shackle Shot doesn't latch.
It's tanky, though.
Got the Decay and the Soul Rip to keep him alive, but a couple more planks, and now they're just going to get a free extra gold from Tombstone, 125, picked up by Owa. Undying is not doing, I think, what they would have liked it to do, and that's a little sad, because this hero really thrives on early game fights, and that's not happening for them currently in this game.
I think that's just what happens when you go into a dual lane like that, and then you give away 2 kills to a lane that probably shouldn't have done so hot.
Right.
I can kind of feel like the hero is pretty useless because he's completely like a play from ahead type hero.
Nothing for you.
Yeah.
And when he's behind, he's got to heal. He's got to heal in a Tombstone.
It's just they're getting a lot more than I thought they would have for Detonator, and that's really good for them. Abing is still farming freely. He's gonna have a Treads Aquila pretty soon, and then whatever item he wants after that should come pretty quickly. Gabby's kind of slowing down. He's only 500 ahead of the Brewmaster. They're about equal in levels at this point. And I don't know. I think both teams rely on fast-paced action with the Ajit Razor and then, of course, like Brewmaster Split and all these other abilities that they have. So I guess it just comes down to levels. And like once they get level 6 on their big heroes like Warlock and Brewmaster, they can easily take a fight and win it. Conversely, Sand King, he's got some more levels to work with now. When he gets Blink Dagger, then they can start fighting. So
they definitely can start fighting, but if I were them, I'd be a little worried about this Razor. If you look at the XP per minute, he's got...
Jobbing might be dead. Skylark just needs like one more hit. Oh my god, that snowball save. That's unbelievable. And they got the Shadow Word off. Lightning Storm does get the kill, but Boombox is going to trade his life away for it, it looks like. He does. Can he get this kill? He has Lightning Storm. He has no mana. He still gets it. The double kill, dominating for Boombox. He has no regen other than a Tango, and they'll have another Snowball in 3 seconds. And then with Shadow Word, this should be a dead Boombox. He could try for a deny. It's going to be tricky. Ice Shards comes out. Not going to be able to do it, but that turns into a 2-for-2 where they get both cores just for an offlaner and a support hero. The deadly duo between the Sand King and the Leshrac strikes again.
Yeah, that's huge. I think the even huger thing about this is the fact that the Razor, like I was saying, 500 XP per minute. Troll, he was the highest net worth. Troll is sitting at 300 XP per minute. So Razor has 200 XP per minute over the next guy. Razor's just sitting mid, soaking levels. Like, he's getting huge. And, of course, net worth as well. But this Razor's just... experience-wise, he's just completely decimating everybody because he's sitting in his lane. So there's all space created for him.
I mean, he's going to have pretty soon level 2 Eye of the Storm. He'll have max level Plasma Field along with, you know, even more points into the Unstable Current, which is really nice. Meantime, they do find the Undying again, who at this point is useless. He is the lowest net worth hero in the game. He is, I think, the lowest level hero in the game. He is. So, not the end of the world to lose that hero. It's more so that Gabby has to back up and he can't farm freely in his lane anymore, which is kind of frustrating. You know, the Undying pick was a solid choice, but it hasn't worked out so far. But they're still getting room for the Razor and the Sand King bottom. The Troll is the big issue. If they can kill him again, they can maybe ruin his game. He is going to go for Battle Fury. I think that's a mistake. He's got it in his quick buy. He might die again. He might have to choose a different option, maybe something like Treads. They have hit the Split Earth. They've got the Burrow Strike. This should be enough damage with Pulse Nova. And this is the problem with Troll Warlord, is that against these heroes, he's paper thin. And the unfortunate thing is that Battle Fury is not going to help that. And he can't really go like BKB first. I mean, he can, but he would probably like a drum or something before
It'll
that.
help him like 40 minutes from now, though.
Yeah, but...
that'll be good.
I mean, I don't know if the... all right, I don't want to make it seem like this Troll's game is over. It's not. You know, getting Battle Fury is fine, but I think if he keeps dying like this, it's not going to happen.
It's a pretty hard Troll game, though.
It's true.
You're against a bunch of magic damage, a PL who can dispel the Whirling Axes.
Yul's dead again. They've used the Bruise Split, and they're going to try to run. Phantom Rush, but now the PL is getting power shotted. He has to run. He did not expect them to turn there, and Gabby might be dead too. The Tombstone has done nothing in this fight. They're going to lose the tower. Ajit, if he dies, this is going to be huge. They use the Bruise Split perfectly. They won't find Razor, which is good news. But Obbing rotates top. Now the Static Link coming in, but where's the help? Ajit needs to be careful. They're still all up here. He does have 170 damage stolen, but he cannot defend the tower. He would like to auto-attack and deny, but that's not going to happen.
It's so risky, though, as the highest as the highest net worth hero on the Dire. Like, he could have done some sick plays there, and if it's a pub, I'm sure he goes for it, but with what's on the line here, it's just...
If he had the Hooded Defiance finished, I think he would have gone for it, probably, even in his pro game, you know.
I agree. I for sure agree, actually.
This Undying has died for a 5th time now.
Man, I feel bad for hyping this hero up so much, but he's kind of like an ogre, like where he's one of those 4 rolls that will transition into the 5 roll almost half the time when he's not in a situation where he's completely stomping people. He almost always becomes the 5 roll, so... And he is dying a little more than I would expect, but... Undying typically does fall off like this, and then is just kind of his spells. You know?
The issue is he's against a Warlock, number 1. The number 2 issue is that he had a PL. Usually when you pick like Undying dual off lanes, you do something annoying, like Axe. Or something.
A damage hero, like a hero that actually uses the fact that they have less HP.
Yes, exactly. Axe just runs at you, he calls you, he spins once you're dead because you have no HP. Or something along those lines. You get clapped by a Brewmaster, you're dead, you have no HP. You know, PL doesn't do anything. He's like, I have max Phantom Rush. I only have level 1 Spirit Lance.
He kind of could, but he just didn't go for the Spirit Lance build. He's being a little greedy.
Yeah,
like,
no, and that's the issue.
I'm gonna farm.
You know, they're treating. I think Undying can be played as a 4 and treated in that way, but he's been played more as a 5, trying to babysit his PL, which is not a babysitting hero, even with Soul Rip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked a lot about the Undying. I mean, he's doing what he needs to. Although he just warded into a sentry, which is unfortunate.
That is definitely. Look, he's. Whoa, no, he's
I'm
dead
dead.
again.
Whatever, space created. Not like this death is actually really good. And although the A will D-ward, which is kind of problematic. But
that is definitely the unfortunate part though, the ward. If he got that ward off without. God, man. Oh, actually, they had a sentry on both the typical ward spots there, so they really had him figured out there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Goddamn hero.
I think at this point, oh, hold it, thought Ajit's maybe dead. Good static link, but Wind Ranger still does a lot of damage. Stick charges, he's donezo. And even though he, static links a lot of damage, he really needs that. He actually just got the hood with his death, I believe. And he needs a BKB too. Even with the Hood of Defiance, he can't just go for Hood this game. I think he absolutely needs to get a BKB at some point later into the game. And I'm surprised he didn't just go like phase drum BKB. But here's my thought process. Skylark, once he gets Blink Dagger, they need to really focus on finding either this Troll or this Wind Ranger. Because Troll is actually getting a lot of room to work with. And if he gets to this Battle Fury, this game gets a lot harder for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, sure, he'll come online at 30 minutes, but if they're having a game like this with the other 4 and they can actually hold off for 30 minutes, they were 4v5ing for the whole time, and then all of a sudden this big boy comes out of the jungle and it's like, oh god, that's a big boy that we can't deal with when these guys are, in the vicinity as well. It's just, it can be pretty rough. But I imagine they'll probably gank to him when they get the Sand King Blink. That's a pretty typical thing where a carry stays off the map and it's like, well, I wonder where he is, Just go to their jungle.
Skylark doesn't have Wind Run anymore. He's going to go for a TP. There's no Leshrac to Split Earth follow-up. Skylark will buy his Blink Dagger from the side shop. They should TP him in somewhere in smoke. They do have one on Undying. They would have liked to get vision on Obbing before they do smoke, but yeah, will he TP? Yes.
Gabby's getting some pretty good space here too, actually.
Yep, he needs it too.
You can definitely be like a little afraid of the Troll Battle Fury because it'll allow for those later timings, but there's also a timing earlier that comes with that Phantom Lancer Diffusal Blade where the Troll won't be able to fight, but the PL will be able to fight, and they could just potentially 5-man around him and take a huge amount of map control where maybe it actually doesn't matter that the Troll is a Battle Fury because they'll get so huge from
How did he not
kills.
deward that? Obbing just walked through an Observer Ward and didn't deward it, and it's definitely in range. Meanwhile, here comes the Blink Burrow. Skylark sees Yash. Blink's canceled. So now they know the Blink is there. There's a deity at the bottom ruin in the meantime. Owa is 13 seconds before his primal split. They would have liked to have that. Meanwhile, Troll is doing what he needed to do. They see that the PL's bottom was taking over the lane. He goes top, still working at his Battle Fury, and boy, is he unbelievably close. I mean, he's like 300 gold away. Meanwhile, Epicenter's going to go. They're going to try to find Tusk. Split Earth comes out. Did he use the Epicenter? No, I thought he did. They're going to try to go for the split. Snowball save. There's the split and the Golem. This is a good fight now for Detonator. They need to be careful for Clutch Gamers. Skylark taking some damage, but there's no follow-up, really. It's just the Golem and the Brewlings, although that might be enough to get the kill. You can try to Burrow Strike away. They'll Cyclone up one. They're going to chase on the other side. They cannot find a single kill for either team, and that was Brew Split used, plus the Blink Dagger. Skylark, they're going to try to turn onto Owa now, and actually, he might be dead. Split Earth, there's so much damage. No way he can survive that. Very big kill for Ajit. That's the killing spree ended. Wind Ranger, in the meantime, getting chased down by a zombie. She has to wind run away. Yola has no lockdown whatsoever because he's undying. But this is a big fight. There's no split now. There's still Epicenter. You still have Blink Initiation. And all of a sudden, this PL has finished up his Diffusal Blade as the Troll also picks up his Battle Fury.
The great thing about taking a fight on the enemy's turf is that it sets up so nicely for just taking this tier 1 right now, or at least positioning around it with vision, although they didn't actually end up getting any vision down, so they don't see that Wind Ranger is making this play right now, although with the nice reaction speed from Skylark, doesn't matter.
TPO what's top, clap. Gabby's still pretty squishy to these types of abilities. Really, the issue has been for Clutch Gamers, the ward battle has been lost for them. They just smoked on an Observer Ward inside their shrine. They're going to move together, and if anybody dies here, I would be shocked for Detonator. And literally, they've dewarded so many wards. They've seen so many wards here for Clutch Gamers. In fact, there was this ward over here at the Secret Shop that they didn't deward, even though they had a sentry right on top of it. That could have been even worse for Clutch Gamers. But the Vision battle has certainly been won by Detonator at the early stages of this game.
Yeah, I mean, look at how they're playing. They're just completely on the opposite side of the map from where the danger zone is.
Look at Obbing taking a huge stack. They'll find Tusk. He will almost certainly die, even with Snowball save. He can't even get it off.
Who cares though? Your Troll's taking the ancient stack. Like, your Wind Ranger's pushing bot with the Maelstrom, pressuring the tower, so somebody's gonna have to respond to that. This is going pretty well.
They did lose
for
the tier 1
Detonator.
top. They might even lose the tier 1 mid, depending on if they can find some initiation on Noah.
Yeah, it was a nice play that that they went mid and just left the Razor top. It's like dangerous because obviously your Razor's completely alone, has no BKB. So if they went on him there, he's just dead. But they're not going to go on him because they don't know where the smoke is. So it's that kind of like, it's the question, you know. You feel like since you can't see where the enemy team is, they're just everywhere.
Clap. No mana for split. He has stick charges. He's going to have to use them. Split Earth. Good save, but JS in trouble. They need to get the split off. They will, but this might be too little too late. They drop the Tombstone. They already have the Sand King dead. Actually, they're turning this around. Boombox is getting power shotted. He will survive the urn, taking him down. Yol will find Yaj. The zombie's doing the job, I think. Plasma Field almost brings him down, and the Ancient Creep does not actually kill him. The Shadow Word will help him survive. That's Brew Split for a Sand King. It's still a trade 1-for-1. Obviously, the Sand King a bigger target, but they do lose the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. That's pretty big, but again, a lot of time and a lot of space for this Troll Warlord who has suddenly jumped on top of the net worth after taking that huge ancient stack by a mile. He is very close to this BKB. Well, not very, but he's getting close to the BKB, and that, you know, this game is, it's pretty interesting. It's back and forth. They're fighting when they need to fight for Detonator, but at the same time, they're also getting good space for the Trolls.
With Troll's gold per minute, he'll have the BKB in, like, 2 minutes. Given his like ridiculous farming speed, and his gold per minute doesn't even factor in the fact that he's got this Battle Fury now. So, and I was gonna say, damn, I wish I had said it before I put it in his quick buy, but he's going for a blink. I was gonna say when he gets a blink or a Shadow Blade, he's gonna look a lot scarier because that makes the Razor a lot less of an issue. You can kind of bait the static link, or you can get on the back lines while Razor is static linking somebody else, or you can blink on the Razor and kill him before he static links you. Like, there's a lot more options rather than just Troll running in with a BKB and being like, oh no, I'm static linked, I do no damage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh great, dude, you attack fast, but you do no damage, right? That's why Razor is considered a counter to this hero. But once you get that Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade, you have options. So he's actually queuing it up after the BKB, and I imagine he'll probably get a Lincoln Sphere too at some point in this game. And then all of a sudden, because of the items, the counters don't really matter. The BKB, the Lincoln Sphere, the Blink Dagger, all of these things give him options that he didn't have against these heroes in the early game. So that's like why you were saying they should go for the Troll. They should try to kill the Troll at some point in this game, and they kind of didn't, and they might get punished for it.
They did once, and then Detonator got an early blink on the Brewmaster, and they were the ones that were pushing the pace, making them fight in places they didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
You know? And giving Gabby space is great and all, and this PL could still carry the game, but it's going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky for them.
He's not going to farm anywhere near as fast as...
Obviously, yeah. It's just, even though PL's a very good farmer, he farms quickly, even without Battle Fury. The problem is that Troll, probably with Battle Fury, one of the fastest farming heroes in the game.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's insane with the attack speed.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
The issue is him moving around the map. Is he can't move from jungle to jungle as fast, even with decent move speed.
Are they looking to go for a smoke right now?
This is a weird pincer maneuver.
They're just kind of chilling.
Skylark trying to find an initiation, but they don't have any vision other than they have this one ward, which actually could have gotten him an initiation, but they decided not to go for it because they weren't together, I don't think.
That ward's giving them so much value there. Like, just completely wasting the time of Detonator. Detonator was kind of chilling around there, and they didn't initiate because they saw it was everybody. It's just standing right on top of that ward conveniently.
JS has a blink. If they find JS, they might not be able to get the initiation. They might just blink back and stay safe. Oa is a tough target to bring down, but they can do it with the lockdown that they have. But they're not finding anybody. Everybody's either top or in their base or mid. You know, they're kind of afraid, it looks like, although they will run into the Warlock, which is whatever.
That's such a good position from him, actually. Just completely protecting his Troll there.
Yeah.
That's an amazing 5 play. Like, I think, like, that's completely intentional.
Oh, they found the real PL. Walrus Punch. He has Doppelganger, but he's still probably dead. And yeah, he is. They even split for it. They didn't even need to.
Oh, you know why Wind Ranger's an amazing counter to the PL? Actually, Undying's getting gone in here. I think Undying's dead as well.
Yeah, it looks like he is. Boombox try to...
Are they going to fight this?
I don't think they should. Everybody's here for Detonator, although they don't have Warlock. Epicenter getting channeled. They're going to go for a Burrow Strike. They only get one. Hobbing on the Troll that has his BKB. So if they try to fight into this, he's just going to turn in BKB. But the static link comes out. They break it immediately. It's only 26 damage stolen. That is a 10-second BKB. It's probably a smart thing for clutch gamers to pop that and back up. You know, there's some, you know, merit to getting the static link damage and then trying to fight uphill for IG, but the problem is he doesn't have his BKB. If he had that, maybe they do it. They don't. So, anyways, you were saying.
I think it's pretty reasonable for both teams to back off. It's like, okay, we don't have our PL, but then also they don't have the split, so it's this like weird. Do any of us really want to fight here? There's just so much risk involved, especially fighting around a Roche pick, because you know if you lose, you just lose Roche.
Yep.
Although it's a lot harder to take nowadays. That guy hits hard.
He does very hard.
But Windranger actually follows the real PL with Focus Fire after he uses Doppelganger. He'll just keep hitting. It's really, really broken. It's super, super good. All you need to do is make sure that as soon as you see the real PL, you just click the Focus Fire on him. And even if you don't start off with the Shackle, it doesn't matter because you'll kill him after he Doppelgangers. It's really, really ridiculous. That's one thing I discovered in a pub the other day. I was spamming Windranger because I was getting so sick of playing against it. I was like, oh god, this hero does no AoE damage, but it's actually broken against PL.
Yeah. The one thing that was impressive was the Shackle shot he hit at the beginning of the fight, or you know.
Yeah.
You get that stun, you gotta get lucky. He did, and he was end up able. I mean, the Shackle shot is more than enough to kill him pretty much on her own. But once they get the follow-up damage and the stuns with Snowball and stuff like that, he's easily dead, even with Doppelganger.
Oh, yeah.
But here we go. Maybe a fight breaking out. IG needs to buy a TP scroll. He's also a little bit low on mana, nor does he have his BKB, although close to it. Split is back up, so is Golem. The perfect time to fight for Detonator.
Oh, never mind.
They're not going to fight.
Maybe Roche?
They could take it, and taking a fight against them at this point with Brew Split and Golem up is very tricky. They're also going to find an Idvis rune, which Brewmaster will pick up, I'm sure.
Clutch Gamers knows. They know that this is happening. There's no way they don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, how can they fight into it? Are they actually gonna? They're gonna back up. They're baiting.
I think it's pretty dangerous for either team to fight at the Roche pit. Like Undying is one of the best Roche fighters because you can just put the tomb in somewhere that's that's
an aggressive blink. This is a bait. Shackle shot doesn't latch. They still have a tombstone. Yash has to blink away. Are they gonna start this? No, there's no way they can do this. I mean, PL's better now, but like Razor still sucks ass in doing Roche.
There's neither of these teams can really take Roche that quickly. Troll kind of. Windranger kind of. At this point, it's still... I mean, that thing does a lot of damage.
Do they have a medallion? Why do they not have a medallion? Get a medallion. With
Undying's
and... No, I mean for Detonator. Right?
Oh, okay.
Tusk should buy one. I guess he needs Pipe first.
Definitely buy one. Although Pipe against...
Alright, get Warlock by medallion whenever you can get money, which is never, but...
Jeez, well, typical carry telling your 5-year-old to get items. Look at his inventory. This guy's not getting anything this game.
I've been in the support role over the past few days. I've played support, even though I'm not very good at it. Yeah, you know, there's a player in our stack that likes playing one position, and I let him play it just because I'm a good guy, even though I get triggered sometimes.
Well, whatever, dude.
You know, so I've been there. I've played a Skyreth Mage with 13 deaths. I'm not very good at the hero. Meanwhile, I play Void one game, the game after we lose 3 in a row, and then boom, we win. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that was a weird, convenient thing that happened there, wasn't it?
Well, okay, listen. What are you saying?
Nothing, dude.
Okay.
I didn't use the word coincidence once.
Bruce split. They're going to take the fight. Tombstones drop down. Aji does have BKB, but the rest are not committing to him. Boombox forces down to the low ground and is going to survive. The Cyclone up. Now they'll pop the Battle Trance, trying to secure at least one of these kills. So far, they haven't found anything. Burrow Strike onto 2, but where's the follow-up damage? It's not there yet. Golem finally dropped down. That's on the PL. He's just got to run immediately. He's Doppelganger up to the high ground. They have the BKB for Razor. He's going to pop it. This could be a pretty good fight for Clutch Gamers. They're going to turn into Yash. He gets up the Snowball. Abing getting static linked. Now he's got his BKB down. Shackle shot, but it will not save Abing. JS is forced to leave. It's going to be 2 dead, and this is with Golem and Split. And now JS getting Dove. No win run. Ajit's just going to walk him down and whip him in his shape. Ajit, the dominating spree. He's going to find the triple kill. The mega kill streak. What a beautiful fight from Clutch Gamers. Skylark hitting the stuns. They bait out the Brew Split and the Golem, and they all survive. What an engagement. Very big fight for Clutch Gamers. Yoshimoto
Detonator needs to take... it's funnier to say the first
fine.
They need to... Yoshimoto Detonator, they need to take the fight when the troll has some way of getting out of that static link. Like, we saw in that fight the direct result of this Razor hero versus the troll hero. Obviously, there was a lot of really good stuns in that fight, setting up for the Razor to actually do his damage. But good God! Oh,
run Boombox!
Quite slow.
Oh, double force! He's alive. Yol is, however, no, Boombox is dead too. Yol is not either. At least he's got a buckler, but he's making it.
Yoshimoto coming back, although they lose the...
They got the tier 3 as 2 supports for it. Not
3.
that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's true. The Tombstone, too. 200 gold. Easy.
Okay. They're still in it, despite losing, like, 5 heroes in that last fight.
Yeah.
There was only a 1,000 gold lead for Clutch Gamers up until that point, and now there is a 6K lead.
That was an insane fight. Just kiting the Trolls BKB is so important, and they did it beautifully in that.
Uh-oh. Skylark.
In that engagement.
He's the one that's in trouble. Sandstorm, they have no detection. They do. They have a sentry. Now Skylark is dead. Okay, a little aggressive for him. Nobody was there. So a little gold going back the way of Detonator. Uh-oh.
Pretty aggressive. Although he's not super high net worth.
If only
so
Diffusal still had a purge.
Ooh, what a shackle!
Gabby is now probably dead. They buy back on the Tusk. He needs to run. Do they have Golem? It's up in 36. Gabby trying to juke. Not the smartest play trying to go for JS there. Diffusal doesn't work anymore like that, so...
They're kind of throwing a little bit.
Once he wind runs, there's no way you can get that kill. And
yeah,
now they're going to go
like
Roche.
Some sort of purge.
This is just a free Roche now, all of a sudden.
I guess the Roche damage doesn't matter so much when you're perma-bashing him, although there's no bashes happening here. What the hell, man?
Obbing's getting low. They do have Golem back in 6. They obviously... Oh, they don't have Bruce Split. They used it. Oh, they want to get in there, but he dies so fast. This is just dead Roche. Epicenter's going to go. It's too little too late. Good try from Skylark, though. Although they are going to link. Golem's going to get dropped down, but that's the BKB. Jules is dead. He steals like 130 damage. That's the Aegis gone. JS is probably dead, too. This is how strong they are currently. Like, they just destroy with Razor currently. Obbing's forced to pop the BKB. He's going to have to TP out. There's no way they can stop it from happening. But that is a BKB used. They did get the Aegis. So all of that pretty much amounts to actually Clutch Gamers still getting a lot of this. And they're going to find Owa, too, yeah. This is like a huge fight. Ajit continues to get huge. He has an SNY now. He's working on a Shiva's Guard. He's well on his way. There is no way they can fight into Ajit yet. Like, they even with the blink from Troll Willer, there's just, like, he just steals way too much damage from one person, and they all die.
I feel like there's been barely any impact at all from this PL, other than
he's done nothing.
Dying.
He does, like, the one fight where they took around that Ancient Stack in the former Tier 1 tower, where they won that huge 5-on-0 fight, was, like, he walked in, got golemed, doppelgangered away, and then the Razor proceeded to win the fight from them.
Yeah, Razor killed everybody with the help of a couple stuns here or there. Undying, he's kind of... At least he's healing people. Yeah. You know, that's something. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, they're scared.
Run, it's just an Undying. Get out of here.
I thought he was going to die again.
He's actually got more farm than he should have, considering how bad this game went. He's got more than the Warlock. Although, both heroes are garbage at taking jungle camps, I think. Although Fatal Bonds is way better.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
Fatal Bombs and then Shadow Word.
That's the one problem with Undying. Undying is a tomb to actually take jungle camps. It's so annoying.
Oh, yeah, and it's such a long cooldown, so...
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Undying is going... He's in such poverty mode that he's got a buckler. He went for the raw buckler into medallion.
You're seeing what happens... I'm glad he got the medallion. Anyway, you're seeing what happens when an Undying does not get off to a fast start. It's pretty awful. He does nothing. But, you know,
I like that he left
he's got a farm.
Decay at level 1 for that value. That value 4 strength
There's
steal,
so many,
not
like...
get that off more than once in a fight.
I've seen so many different build lists that say Undying should get, like max decay, or, like, level 2 or level 3 decay before you get, like, max Tombstone, which I
mean, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, me neither.
It does like 100 damage at level 1, and then you level it up, and it does 30 more damage than that. Who cares?
Being TP.
I mean, the cooldown.
Oh my god, he didn't BKB. He didn't think the Sand King was there. No, Abbing. You just had to press your BKB.
That was greedy.
That's very greedy.
That's the sort of thing that happens once and then never again.
He's not gonna, yeah. But they will take a fight on the other side of the map, and this actually is pretty good. This is split BKB from JS. Tombstone's on the high ground, and Yul's gonna bait this and just kind of waste some time. They're all running there, but Yul's already dead. No, he's still alive. Somehow, they have found Gabby, who was shackle shot into a tree. Here comes Skylark, the Sand King. He is a walking stun, and boy, is he dangerous to fight into. Golem is back up, but they're not going to use it, so Bruce splits down. Oh, good blink from Owa. Gets out. They can still try to chase him. Here comes the PL with the Phantom Rush range. The Diffusal comes out. Yaj is forced to blink away. The Shiva's Guard, which is green for some reason, now brings down Owa. And they continue to win these fights. They have a 12k lead now. They're going to try to push high ground. They do have level 4 Edict, so they actually have some pushing, although Glyph will go. Golem's going to get dropped, but this thing will just get whipped.
They just kill it?
Yeah, it's just dead. Golem's really good when you combine it with the rest of your team fight, but when you just do it like that, it does nothing. Except to, like, slow them down for a second.
That's a bit of a waste. They just don't want to use the buybacks, but...
They're going to have to, otherwise they're going to lose racks.
I guess he's dying anyway, but this is the point where you realize, like, you can't just defend the racks without the buybacks, and...
They won't on Troll. They have to, I think, still on Brewmaster now that Troll's alive. It is backdoor protected, although JS, Yule Scepter goes... They've got a good Ice Shard. Split Earth follows up. They might need to back up, actually, here. Good Shackle shot. Aji's low on mana. That's the end of the Static Link, and they might need to back now. And somehow they weren't forced to buy back on the Brewmaster, although Gabby is in deep. Owa is TPing into the mid lane to try to fight this. And he will find the clap on the Gabby. Skylark in trouble as well, but Gabby now running down Owa, and Gabby's starting to feel his presence here. He should get this kill, although he's out of mana. He'll maybe let the Illusions do it, and they will. Gabby's starting to hit pretty hard. He's got a Silver Edge away. They do have a Sentry there. He's going to get caught, and Yaj and Abing will secure the kill, and Yoel's going to have to run too. But they do get the melee racks. Yoel's going to get caught. The issue there is the Razor has no mana, and then the Static Link doesn't do anything. It, like, Static Link's like 20 damage, and then the fight is over, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually really, really important in each of these fights, is if he can get that Static Link off. Which is why the troll blink is so damn important, because, you know, like I said earlier, it gives him the options where it's not just like, oh wow, we got so lucky in that fight, he screwed up the Static Link. Like, you can actually force a situation like that with the Blink Dagger, reinitiate with the blink after running out, blink out, tons of stuff that you can do.
Is he actually going to try to take this fight?
Yeah, they are.
Yes, he really is. JS is dead, even with the Force. Now Abing's dead. No BKB. He actually did he just use it? Or no. He did! Oh my god, he used the BKB as he died. That's tilting.
That's 77 seconds, he's dead. I think that
might be game.
I mean, barring... They're fighting without two heroes, and they're still killing all of them.
They're just so far ahead now. Like, this Lestrak is actually... I want to see how much damage he did at the end of this game, because I think it's been a lot. But also the Razor, too.
But I do kind of feel like this is a bit of a 1v5. Not really, like...
Yes.
Obviously, you know, there's stuns. The stuns are definitely effective, the early game rotations. I just mean in these fights, like, really seems like Razor's doing all the damage.
Okay, they're taking a pretty good fight here. Somehow Boombox is alive. He's going to get Yulesed up, but they're going to chase down Skylark. They can get this kill, would be big. Boombox is dead for 53. He doesn't buy back. They're fighting at the enemy base. Gabby is running here. Yash is going to get Static Linked. Watch all of his damage get drained. 140. It's going to be 270 probably, unless the Cyclone breaks it. Of course it does. So now fighting into Aji, that's 270 damage. He still has his BKB. JS is going to get Shiva's Guard. He has no Wind Run. He has to BKB and use it. He actually does. He might TP out. No, he cannot. That's no buyback for the Wind Ranger. All of the abilities are down other than Golem. At this point, it'll probably be too late because there's no Brew Split. You're fighting with your main cores, essentially. They're just going to take Megas at this point. There's nothing they can do. And this should be game. They might be able to defend now that the Troll's back up in 8 seconds with Golem. But that's really their last gasp at this point, and Razor continues to be a monster in this game. And he still has a 7-second BKB duration, which is insane to think about.
He didn't use it at all in that fight. He's being very conservative with it. Yeah.
I would say so.
It's working out really nicely for him, obviously.
Here's the issue: they don't have any push without Lestrak. I mean, they're kind of doing some damage, but now Lestrak is in, and all of a sudden he just hits his W button, and then their base dies.
Although they just can't take a fight at all. They can't take a fight.
No, they're waiting for the Wind Ranger, even with Golem.
They don't have the Brew Split.
It's still down for 30. They'll have to fight with Megas now. I mean, they know that they're gonna have to just let Megas come. They can defend. They have Troll. They have Wind Ranger.
Yeah, they have the Battle Fury. Yeah. So they could actually potentially, and you know, with something like Troll Wind Ranger, if this game actually goes late enough, you can run down the mid lane and take Throne in a matter of seconds. So it's definitely not over, but it's looking pretty rough, considering the rest of this game was looking rough as well, and there wasn't Megas against them. So.
Oof. Aji just got like 2 mangoes and 2 clarities delivered, so he'll be back to close to full mana pretty soon.
Dude, clarities are so efficient in the late game, actually. Like this Shiva's Guard, that's amplifying the clarity regen that he has. The clarity is so good in the late game.
And now it's gone.
Although that's unfortunate.
He got power shotted.
Oh my god.
I dropped 2 sentries just to make sure there's no vision on high ground here.
This is the part where you're just like, all right,
Shackle on the Ajit, but he has a BKB. Clap, Owa, split. Tombstone has been dropped. There's the Golem, and Yol is dead. Maybe not. Soul Rip, Decay. He tried. In the meantime, Gabby got on the back lines, killed Jules. But he already got his golem down, so it doesn't really matter. Burrow Strike onto both the golem as well as a hero in Skylark. Now Ajit pops the BKB, Walrus Punch. Static Link, that'll be onto Abing, and Abing has to run. Steals 113 damage, not that much. Still going to do some damage to Owa, though. And he's going to get dropped down. They find a good splitter along with Burrow Strike on it, too. Yeah, he's just going to get dropped. He has Snowball. He will use it to save his life for the time being. Buy back onto the Brewmaster. They're going to buy back onto Jules as well. Boombox a little far up. Gabby bought a Dagon. He's already zapped somebody. I think it was the troll. He doesn't have buyback. They're going to try to finish. Tier 4 is getting assaulted. Good shackle shot into Ajit. Out of mana. They did a Burrow Strike, but Skylark he's got an eye cooldown. JS will Static Link, or get Static Link, but GG's called. So that's it. Once the troll is dead, once they don't have the Brewmaster, the game is over. I think the story of this game, Jenkins, and I don't think we need to go too far into depth, is essentially Razor is a good hero when you can get him full Static Links and he can just run rampant in fights.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to say. They had no way of dealing with his BKB once it came out. Like, they golem stun him for half second, and then the Brewmaster does nothing to him because he can't use any of his abilities on him. Like, Brewmaster is good in theory against Razor because you can cyclone him, but once he buys BKB, that issue is just gone. And same thing for Wind Ranger 2's Shackle Shot. Like, they just don't have any control or kiting capabilities against the Razor, even with the Wind Ranger.
It's really, at that point, it's the Razor versus the Troll, and we all know who wins that. Really, the story of this game for me is exactly what you said, but also with the fact that they just left the Razor completely alone and they rotated out of mid, and there was zero focus on him. He was complete free farm, sitting in a lane, wasn't losing gold or experience because he was walking between lanes. He was just chilling, and when he actually came out of the woodwork, he was a monster, and you just can't deal with that when you have a troll that you're looking to carry you with the Static Link. Like, it's just such a good counter to that hero.
Yeah. It's so strong. And I think also I wanted to mention this. I said, okay, I want to look at the damage. The unsung hero of this game for me was Boombox as well. There are a lot of games where Leshrac just feels like he's paper thin and he doesn't do anything because he dies so quickly. But Boombox played this hero immaculately. He got a really early Aether Lens and then proceeded to just be involved in every fight. He would pop his Pulse Nova, just run around, not die. Yo was the one that was taking all of the focus. He was taking all the brunt of the focus from Yoshimita Detonator. He died a lot in the early game. He had like 6 deaths, but then he only died 3 more times for the rest of the game, which I thought was really impressive play. He was able to get his Tombstone and his Flesh Golem off on every fight, which means they get more damage, of course. And just all around really solid play from Clutch Gamers, even though the bottom lane wasn't the best start for them. As you mentioned, Ajit had an amazing game in the mid lane. Skylark got a pretty early Blink Dagger, and from there it became pretty much checklist Dota, just taking fights even against the Brew Split in the Warlock Golem. But that'll do it for this first game. I don't want us to wait too long because I have to go ahead and do some stuff real quick while we have a break. But we will jump into that break. Game 1 is now done. Yoshimito Detonator losing this game. They really could use one win in this series, just tying it up. But Clutch Gamers, of course, a very strong team, now to 9 points, trying to make a bit of a distance here between them and Boom ID, first place in this group. We'll see how it does turn out, though, with Game 2 coming around the corner. We'll also update you guys between Boom ID and Alpha Red in their series. So stick around here. Another 5 minutes. We'll have our next game up in just a moment. We'll see you guys soon.